Welcome back, or welcome if it's your first time here. I'm Eva. I'm a vintage reseller and I love to thrift and I love to show you what I have found and love to show you what I am currently listing. Sometimes I tell you what I sold. Sometimes we just talk about reselling, and sometimes I'm just here to give you encouragement. If you haven't been watching my shorts, then you won't recognize this. But this was actually a giant jewelry jar. This was full of jewelry. I'll insert a picture, and I can't remember if I put this in one of my videos. So guys, the menopause brain fog is real, and sometimes I have to go back and watch some of my old videos to go, did I already talk about this? I found this at an antique mall. So this was the biggest one that I had ever bought. And what I really thought was cool was the jar, and I showed that on one of my shorts, is because I thought the jar itself was like, oh wow, that is the most cool candy jar or whatever I've seen. It would be great for a party. And then when I got it home, I realized that it actually is just a large glass vase. And then this bottom part was glued on there, and the bottom is actually a candy jar. So they glued this candy jar, or this beautiful crystal jar, onto the bottom of this vase, and then they took the lid off, which made this the base, and then this beautiful lid, they were lucky enough that just happened to fit on the top of this. I'm kind of glad to have this. I think this will be really fun to decorate with during holidays. I thought it would be really cool to ask ChatGPT to show us 3 different ways that something like this could be styled. Because if you're out thrifting and you should happen to find pieces, or if you have pieces like this and you wanted to put together your own giant jar, I want to show you 3 ways that ChatGPT showed me how this could be styled. So the only instructions I gave to ChatGPT was to give me 3 different styles. One for a party, one for maybe the holidays, and then one that I could use right now for summertime. And this is what they came up with, which I know these are pretty simple ideas, but look how pretty something like that would be. I think you guys could come up with a million other ways to decorate with this. But let me tell you, in case you were wondering, because everybody on social media has been sending me messages like, where did you find that jar? I've never found one like that. This one I found in Goodlettsville, Tennessee at Goodlettsville Antique Mall. There is a vendor in there that is a jewelry reseller, and she does mystery jars every now and then. And I have bought smaller ones from her. No offense to her, I don't know her, but I wasn't real lucky with anything that I had found in any of her jars in the past. So that's why I was like, I don't know about this, but I was so intrigued by the jar that I had to buy it. I spent $96 on it, which was another reason I was like, do I really want to spend $96? In the entire jar, this first little clump that I pulled out had some of the better pieces that I actually sold, and I gave away some of this, but a lot of it was broken too. I was getting discouraged about halfway through because there was a lot of junk. Very tarnished, very broken, not a match to. I don't mind like some craft items in there, like I expect that, but for the price, I was really thinking maybe there would be something good. Now, there was probably a cup, maybe 2 cups full in this whole jar of these tiny, tiny little seed beads. These little seed beads. There was so many of them. This is not all of them. So I'll show you. Over 6 pounds was pretty much unusable, like unwearable, not unusable, unwearable. There are a lot of little interesting things in there that could be used for craft, and some things that just need a repair. But I mean, 6 pounds, and a lot of that was little tiny beads. And I would say of the wearable things that I haven't given away or sold already, there is probably 2 pounds, 5.1 ounces of things that are still usable or wearable. This is wearable. These are just like little handmade earrings, but a lot of it is just the cheaper, like kind of paparazzi jewelry. And there were a few vintage pieces. So this is stuff I'm still kind of going through just to see what I want to keep and what I want to sell. If it's poured out of the bag, These are the pieces that were pretty much in good condition. That is not gold. It is just like a gold plated, and it's very thin, like very bendable. Then some pieces that didn't match. That's an interesting necklace, but you got to be careful. I don't think this would be like ivory, but it may be like bone or something. Then there were a few bracelets. These are very like that cheap bendable. Match these. There was a backing. There was something wrong with the backing. This is a cute little earring, but of course he does not have his match. Then these are all just like the very lightweight ones. This is something someone probably had engraved. And this was really cute, but it is missing a stone. That is a little brooch. This is really pretty beads. It looks like a handmade piece because you can see the strings on this here. So I think someone made that. This is probably Hallmark. Some plastic beads. Another little necklace. Now this necklace was pretty nice, and it also had a little hang tag there that said the Loft on it. So that was probably one of the nicer pieces. So not terrible, but that gives you kind of an overview of what was in there. And then a lot of it I've given away, which has kind of been fun. I met this lady through social media, and she's just the sweetest lady. She has a lot of challenges. She has cerebral palsy and some other learning disabilities, but she is so positive, and she dresses so beautiful and very colorful. They call it dopamine dressing, where you just wear like bright colors and it just makes you so happy. She loves jewelry. She head to toe jewelry with her outfits. That's her thing. And she actually messaged me when she saw this jar and was like, if you have anything that you don't want, like, I would be glad to take it off your hands. And I said, you know what, it's yours. And then I've been making a few shorts where I just did like round 1 of what I found, and round 2 where I was showing things. So if you haven't watched the shorts, you can go and see some things, other cool things that I found in that jewelry jar. One was this really cool belt, and I've had a lot of interest in this. I have decided to list this. I wasn't sure if it was something that would sell because I don't know a lot about fashion. And I got a lot of interest for this belt. So that teaches you that even if you don't know if something is going to be popular, you might as well take a chance because there's somebody out there looking for everything. Now, also this week, Goodwill was very good to me. I found a really cool item at Goodwill. Only one item, checked out with one item. Let's go see what I found. Okay, so the first thing that I found was at Goodwill, which I never find anything at my Goodwill, and it wasn't even priced. So I had to ask them for a price, and it's this beautiful black lacquer jewelry box with the mother of pearl inlay. It has a really pretty metal latch that's a little turtle, and then look how great a shape. It looks brand new. It was the only thing I found in there. It didn't have a price on it. I asked the cashier, and she said, how about $5.99? And I think that is a really good price because these usually sell for upwards of $40 or more, and even more if they are bigger. So Goodwill for the win for at least one item. Next pieces all came from a vendor mall in Murray, Kentucky. Trends and Treasures, this beautiful brass vase. It's different vendors in there, so some of the vendors have really great prices. Some of them are a little high, but I like it because it's big enough that I can always find something in there. This was my husband's contribution. He found this. We thought it was really unique. We tried to look it up. There was only one other one that was showing up online, and it was showing up on WorthPoint. And right now, I don't have a subscription to WorthPoint, so if you don't have a subscription to it, you can't really see the prices that things sold for, but it is a good place to get some information on items. This Mother Mary with Jesus, and it's solid brass. Now, she does have some patina with like this dark line that goes through it. The bottom shows some wear, and then there's some like white like oxidation or some things that could be cleaned off of there. I don't know that I would clean this. I may leave that up to the buyer. I hope that this will do well. Religious items usually do well. And of course, we all know brass sells, so we'll see how this does. A really cool brass plaque. These are those kinds where they stamped it out and it's got like a 3D effect. Really pretty design. This one is the 23rd Psalm. So you've got David up here as a shepherd. And then it has a little hanger on the back. And it does have the original sticker. This is a made in England piece. I love ironstone. I actually collect it myself. I like the platters and the pictures. But these were plates and they are marked on their Valley Forge ironstone. I like to hang these up on the wall as like a grouping. I think it looks really cool. And then the last thing I found was a little sack of plate hangers. And these are actually just going to be plate hangers that I use to take my pictures with, or for my own decorating. But it was a little sack of 4 of them in different sizes, and the whole sack was $4. So basically $1 a piece with really cool little sizes in there. This one's a really good size. These are really come in handy taking pictures of your items, especially if it's a plate or something. It is a good way to stand that up if you want to take a picture and not do a flat lay. However, let me remind you, if you do use something like this or a prop in your pictures, make sure somewhere in your listing you let people know if this is not for sale, because they will think it is. And that's all I got, which was not a very big haul, but I do have most of this already listed, and I'll have it linked below if you want to get a better look at something. Well, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Please leave in the comments, what is the most that you've ever spent or are willing to spend on a mystery jar? Have you ever found anything this big? Have you ever paid $96 for a mystery jar? I know some of you have, because I know I've watched some unboxings and you've spent a little bit on a mystery jar. I know that I didn't get to go over everything that was in this jar, but I did give a lot of it away, and some of it has sold. Like I said, go check out my shorts. I do show a few pieces there that was in the jar. I've honestly can say that I have bought cheaper jewelry jars that had way better stuff. I have, and actually I will link a video for you below where it was my very first jewelry unboxing video, and it was a fluke. It had gold in there. It had a lot of sterling. At the point where I was asking my jewelry friends, is this normal? And they were like, no, that's not normal. So I will say that I have spent less on a jewelry jar that had better stuff in it than I did this. However, the consolation prize was this beautiful jar that we now know we can probably make one just like it. So I hope that you find some fun treasures while you're out thrifting. If you've made a really cool DIY project, let me know that as well. I'm going out of state very soon with my husband for a mini vacation, and hopefully we will find some really cool and new places to shop at. And I'm hoping that I come home with a whole lot of treasures that I can share with you, and also that I can list to resell. If you haven't subscribed, I would love it if you would. And I will see you very soon in the next video. Bye for now. I still think M&Ms would be great in this. I don't know how much that's going to cost me to fill this up with M&Ms.